Hey guys, welcome back to another Road to Masters. Right now we are Platinum 260 LP, but our MMR is quite high, so we're probably more in like mid Emerald. I would say we have like, I think 5 emeralds and 2 diamonds in this lobby. So if you're at this range trying to kind of stretch out to be a diamond 4 player or to hit masters for your goal for end of set, this would be pretty indicative of your range, I would say. I think people get really intimidated when they're in a lobby. They're like, I'm plat, why am I getting in lobbies with emeralds and diamonds? It's because the matchmaking just thinks you deserve to be there. You're not too far off. We're only talking about 100 points. That's like 2 games, right? That could be up to 2 games in wins, right? So you're not crazy far off. Don't get intimidated. I feel like ladder anxiety is a real thing, and I totally get it. But at the same time, I think there's nothing to be stressed about. Everyone in your game is around your skill level, so don't ever feel intimidated by the people in your games. I think when I first started playing, I was like, wow, there's a TFT pro in my game. It was Becca, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm so scared. Truth be told, there was just no reason to be scared. There was no reason to be scared at all, right? From any perspective, like I think it's just hard to play the game if you are scared. You start making different decisions and that anxiety builds up, and we don't want that to happen, right? I think for everyone, we don't want that to happen, and it's a lot less fun. I think a little bit of tension is good. You know, it makes you feel excited. You have skin in the game, but you don't want to feel so tense that you're like, oh, like these people are so much better than me. You don't want that running through your head. Going through this game, I think we're just going to try to flow throughout the game. We should probably hold on to a mountain. Yeah, I think we have 3 mountain here. It's possible we have Lulu. It's going to be Prismatic Prelude, which is what the opener was. So we're going to think long and hard about what we want to do. It looks like Vagar is very popular here. I could have a Cho line, but really fundamentally, I don't have a board. And what do I want to take when I don't have a board? If you guys have seen my Augment video, we really want to take Econ if possible. This is more like aggressive Econ that you need a strong board for, but unexpected expectedness is one of those. Fortune and Strength is actually pretty interesting because that's also deferred power. We could also take deferred power. I think I'm going to go with one more flip, and then we're just going to go with this and see what it gives us. I would say this is pretty general, right? This artifact doesn't push us one way or another. All it tells me is that we're playing some sort of comp with a tank. Like, this is just a tank item at the end of the day. Sometimes the forge pushes you in a direction. If I got an AP item, I would be thinking AP. If I got an AD item, I would be thinking AD. I was thinking about I might want to play around Cho this game, but I'm kind of reconsidering that. Right now, I want to be weak in my opener. I've talked about this a lot in my videos. I hate being somewhere in between. I either want to be strong or I want to be weak. Being somewhere in between is not that good. So here, I didn't even slam an item because I didn't want to win this fight. I looked around. Most people will have a board. I think most people will make a board, and that's really good for them. For me, I'm okay not to make a board and kind of figure out direction. Speaking of which, we are holding one more out, which was the Cho Liss. That was definitely an out for us. So I'm holding mountain. This is deferred power. We have like basically no combat power right now. I'm not worried about the combat power right now. And then we're holding our reroll lines that make sense and seeing which one is closer, right? I think we always want to think about the games in terms of closeness. How close am I to Liss Cho? How close am I to Mountain Lulu? I think we're arguably pretty close to both here. Mountain Lulu, we don't have any Lulus, but we do have Forged in Strength. We have a Reforger, which is good for no matter what we do here. But a Shojin is really good on Lulu. Lulu wants to cast, mana is really, really good for that. So we're going to keep on to consideration. I could full sell here and just commit to Lulu. I think that would be completely fine. In fact, I think it'd be completely fine. But I think if I see one more Cho'Gath, I'm kind of in, is where I'm at. I'm kind of in on just re-rolling Cho'Gath and getting that Fortune Strength later. But Lulu is perfectly reasonable as well. I think we could defer all our power, get the Stargazer emblem. I don't hate it, but this kind of leans me quite a bit into it, I would say. Just 3 Lisses, 3 Chos. I think I don't need a lot more convincing. I wonder if we should get this emblem for free or just call it a day. I'm a little afraid of this, but with wise spending, I think it's hard for them to hit a 1 cost reroll. So I would still like to lose. I have no grandeurs of winning. I mostly just want my Cho to cast. I think we really need to save this Reforger. When you're playing Forged in Strength, the artifacts are random, so you want a comp that can use a lot of them, or you need to really save the Reforger. The good news is with Dark Star, there's there's, excuse me, a lot of different artifacts that we can use because we have an AD user in Kaisa/Jin, we have AP users in Lissandra and Karma, and then we have a tank user in Cho'Gath. So I think there's like a lot of upside here. I'll want to play a board, but here I am just holding the Timebreaker. We sold a Mordekaiser instead of a Timebreaker just in case we do get the Timebreaker. Cosmic Hex is also very, very exceptional towards Cho, so if I had any inkling towards Cho before, it's much stronger now. Definitely should have checked the gods because I think that does make a bit of an influence. I think for me here, we really want Cho items as much as possible, but we already have one. I think Kaisa might make the most sense. We are going for Cho, so I think maybe a Rod. You can never really go wrong with Rod, I would say. Glove is also not bad in this comp, but let's go something more simple here. We're playing towards Liss and Cho, as the comp would kind of demonstrate. We're trying to 3-star both of these, right? And I think that's really important. I think we might just get a Reforger here, or, sorry, get an emblem here and then Reforge out of it. Might be the simplest thing. We should be careful of Sunjo, but I'm not going to be too worried. And then here, I'm just going to place the Cosmic Hex right here and try to figure it out later. If I want to be weaker, there's a bunch of ways to do that. I think here, there's no need. These people have slammed items and all that good stuff. I could pivot out, but I just don't think it makes any sense with Y spending that they hit Cho reroll. They need to roll a lot at 6. We could get out of it, but now that I put the Cosmic Hex here, I don't know. I'm a little torn. Because I think we want to be on the left side based off of the Stargazer spats. But we could absolutely just be Cosmic Hexing a Jax here and be avoiding this contest, and we could pick up Melio pair and all that good stuff. So it's definitely a possibility. I think for myself, I'm going to be simple about it. I think that this comp makes sense no matter what, and I think I have a better spot for it. With Y spending, they really shouldn't be super incentivized to roll, but we are in Platinum Emerald. People have different ideas of things. That's certainly true, and they can hit Cho eventually later. I think for myself, what I want to do is avoid winning this fight, and so I'm going to make myself a bit weaker here by putting myself all off the Hex just in case something funky does happen. And we're going to win this. I just want to make sure my Cho gets as many feast stacks as possible. And this item is always going on Cho. We're not planning on losing for forever and ever. So ideally, I can get a little bit more stacks here. That got me one more chomp, which is totally fine. And maybe this would lead to one more kill in other circumstances. Game simple for us. If you're ready to actually start climbing, head over to tftgameplan.com. dpei's Disciples is my monthly coaching membership, and it gives you full access to my daily meta reads, weekly live Q&As, personalized feedback with unlimited spot reviews, and full access to my library of past coaching sessions, all for $15 a month. One-on-one coaching is also available if you want to improve even faster. Links are in the description below. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. You know, I think with all these comps, so we're going to think about that for the spat later, and I think we're just going to do that for now. It's always good to have the comps you want to play in mind. I think for myself, we're going to be more dynamic with this later. It's just going to be easier on those, on this roll down, for example, to roll for it. So I think people worry a lot about being contested. Being contested is no big deal if your spot is better or if your spot makes sense. If I have 5 Chos for Lissandras, like, I'm not too fussed about it. Right here, I would have to be, in my opinion, really crazy to not want to play Cho with 5 natural Chos. I don't want to make this yet. You have to make what makes sense first before you make the secondary items. I know 4 Dark Star is going to be more of a thing right now. I could play Timebreaker for this one turn. But let's not do that. I know Cho really badly wants Vow. And Visage also would make sense, but here we're going to have to split up our items a bit. I'm okay with losing one more, getting on that 6 streak. And this should be no problem. Okay, they have a lot of items slammed. This is completely fine in my opinion. So we're going to be playing 4 Dark Star. I could have played Timebreaker for this turn to be a little more greedy and get 2 more gold. I think that'd be fine. If I had a little more time to think about stuff, I think it'd be completely fine. We're going to save this Reforger still. Too tanky, not that appealing to me. I don't really want to play a Cho 2 on my board. I want to play a Cho 3, just a really good Cho 3. I think charge for transfer makes sense. We have two big casters here. Cho's a caster and or like, you know, he chomps and overkill. So charge transfer makes sense. And Dark Star already gives a ton of AD and AP. So this gives us damage amp, something we currently don't have. Sunfire board, I'm not that keen on. I think this just makes a ton of sense from my perspective. I think 4 Dark Star is probably the best here. And as far as positioning, just put my second strongest tank on the outside. I think we could go Timebreaker here. So lo and behold, they are contesting, but their chance of hitting Cho is like pretty low, I would say. And there's enough copies of units in the game for me not to be too disturbed. And then I think another thing we want to be thinking about is like what is closest for us. As soon as I sell the mountain stuff, we're really far. I think it would be totally fine to play Lulu. I always tell you guys to find the open line, and I think Lulu was the open line. Here, I just thought I was really close to Cho. 5 natural Chos seems really, really good to me. And I think for a lot of people, oh, I don't know how to play this comp. So they just hard tunnel on certain comps. And I kind of want to reflect that in some of my videos where, hey, maybe I don't know how to play Lulu, or I really don't like Lulu or something like that, and I really want to play Cho'Gath. Like, that's totally fine. We'll talk about how to play a contested. To me here, we don't do anything too different. So there was a world where you play like Gragas and Victor and stuff like that, like this. But the good news is we hit the Dark Star, so we don't have to do that. And now I'm just rolling for copies and rolling to potentially upgrade this. I think there's a world where you could play this and this isn't crazy, just because we are on loss streak and we have no urgency to really improve our board right now. I think we either beat the people we beat or we lose to the people we lose to no matter what. I'm kind of okay to spike a bit later here. And if we win, great, free gold, but it's very unlikely you win with the econ trait. I want you guys to keep that in mind. It's very unlikely you win with an econ trait in, because the econ trait, the value of the trait is going to be in the econ itself, right? Here we do actually win the round, so that's a bit unfortunate for what we were talking about, but the idea is sound here. I think no matter what here, we're going to be looking for tier. Solar Hex is really good, so that's another reason not to take anti-heal. Solar Hex is really good. It gives us a form of burn without taking an item, and also makes my list a lot stronger. Here we could take Warmogs. I think Warmogs might make the most sense here. We want to complete an item. We just want a round. And I think I might want to send it just to start streaking the other way. I can't lose too much HP, but at the same time with Forge and Strength, I want to lose a little bit more. So I was wanting to lose that last round, but no big deal. I think I'm going to switch over to a stronger board and see if I can win some rounds here. And let's put this here really quick. At the very least, I want to just get some modest upgrades. You know, I want to play this somehow, but we're still going to make 50 here. I think we're okay slamming the Warmogs with Cosmic Hex, with Brawler, with Cho's whole thing. I think should be good, and we really want to win this round here. Getting a 2 streak is 2 gold here. 2 gold's pretty good. I'm very happy about 2 gold personally. We might as well give this to Kaisa just for a little bit of stats. We're just gonna have to keep in mind to reforge this later on in the game, and with hopefully some undesirable forges. I guess hopefully we have no undesirable forges, but if we do, we want to tie them all together into one reforge. So this is what we were digging for a while. You dig just for those pairs. Any small improvements to your boards are still improvements. We do need to watch Sunjo. They have 5 Chos, 6 Lisses, so very annoying for us. So looking back, maybe Lulu was a lot better for us. You can totally see it. I don't really think we're expected to win any more fights. Maybe this one, another Forge and Strength player, I could totally see us beating them, but I don't know if I can dig much further and get stronger, right? I would have to dig to 0 to hit both of these, and I think that's pretty unlikely. We have pretty favorable matchmaking here, I would say, fighting the other Forge and Strength player, and they're 0 gold. My board's pretty strong. We're upgraded units. That's why we re-rolled, right? They have no upgraded units, but they are level 6. But we'd get a nice 3 streak here. I think a really nice 3 streak here. And every fight I win, I have no problem with it. Yeah. I think some people might be asking, like, why don't you play Timebreaker after you won? It's because I really want to win, and my strongest board, like I said, is always going to include the strength traits. So we're going to roll here. I'm going to roll a little bit more urgently here. just being a contested, I want to keep in mind that we're one off and they might be rolling the next turn, and I want to roll like right now, basically. I also just get a bit antsy that these gray orbs could possibly hold Cho. Let's see what it is. Something good? No, Jax. No Cho. Yeah, I want to make space for those gray orbs. I'm going to sell this really quick. This is good. We're going to keep rolling for that Cho'Gath. I think there's no point waiting. Even if this runs us down to 0 gold, this is almost always worth the roll. This is really a bit unfortunate, I will say, with the pacing of it. But yeah, we really want... We got to resolve these swords some way or another. I think I'm going to take this. Still fish for... We might have to make a DB here or just chill and sit. I again want to wait for this Reforger. Right now I need a lot of gold. Gold is like really important. I think there's an argument to not rolling so deep there, but on 3 streak, 1 off, I know it cost me a lot of gold, and you know, sometimes you can just chalk it up to being a little unlucky, right? Like, this is an unfortunate roll down. Spending 30 more gold for 1 Cho is really unfortunate, but waiting is not going to get us there any faster, right? So we lose a few gold for it, but hopefully we get something else in return. Here it's pretty interesting. We want to take combats. Hold the line is not good in my spot now, but once we get the dark holes, the black holes rather, it's going to be really good, but this is not good right now. I think Lotus would be, Lotus would be interesting, but I already have JG here, so it's not that appealing. And Giant and Mighty, I'm already really big. So I think for me here, the thing that makes maybe the most sense is I can complete some items here, and maybe I can definitely make a Dark Star spat here to smooth out my power curve. I'm not sure what I want to add, but you surely want to level for something here. It's such a cheap level. I know we lose some gold here, but I think this is always going to be a Dark Star emblem. And we're probably always going to make a Spark here. Wonder if we should just make a GS here straight up, or if we should wait for Shojin. I'm just going to do this right now. GS can't be that bad. We can get mana generation maybe from my Forged in Strength here. This round isn't super urgent. We haven't even hit our spike with Forged in Strength. Right now, you can think about it as we have random portable Forge. But if we can win rounds or lose rounds by a little bit less, I see no point. We can defer it to later, of course, but I think right now is completely reasonable to roll for it. One big thing that we're looking for and that we're hunting for, obviously, is going to be Karma. Karma is going to be the big thing for us, and it's the most likely thing. So getting to 6 Dark Star, I think some people might be like, oh, I heard Hold the Line's really good with Dark Star because we have the black holes and the synergy makes a lot of sense. We're just really far. If we don't have this Dark Star emblem, for example, we have to get to Karma and Jin. But now we only have to get to Karma, and Karma is still really far away. We have to get to level 8. I mean, we don't have to get to level 8, but most likely we have to get to around level 8, right? For that to happen, to roll for Karma really consistently here, and that's just really, really far. We could roll for Karma. If we were super desperate, we could roll for Karma on this next level, but I think that's not even a big concern for us right now. So we are getting smacked down here. Other people have way, 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 way better boards. We obviously hit super behind tempo. Our contester's dead, as we expected. That wasn't a good spot for them. So I think it was our bad. We should have just played Lulu and played an open line rather than playing a contested line. But I do want to reflect, you know, not everyone knows every single comp, right? And I think that's totally fair. I think the Starlight Hex is really good for us. We already have a bunch of items from Forged in Strength and Earth's Grabback. I think, oh, wow. Wow. That's fantastic. We can hit Jin and we can hit Karma. It's just because this person died and we're actually lower HP than expected. So we're the bottom 2 placements. So we get that nice juicy 5 cost odds. So you can always get bailed out. I feel a little bad. But you know, we could roll for Karma. Still making this Dark Star spat is a pretty reasonable move, and we still needed to make items for list. I think right now we'll want to put Jin on the Solar Hex, just because he spreads it so amazingly well. I wonder if we are supposed to just wait a turn. Oops. Let's do this. Switch these two. Obviously, you're going to use the mana gen a bit better as our main caster, and I think long term we want to do this. I think right now this is probably a bit stronger, so if we have no big deal for removers right now, which I don't think we do, we can go ahead and just do this. Again, our game plan is kind of just to eventually lose one, so I'm not super urgent to win this round. In fact, I want to see what my Forged in Strength is, and it would kill my gold straight to 0. So hopefully we can lose gracefully in these rounds. I think losing gracefully is important, but you know, winning is not that bad. I think winning is never going to be that bad. Ideally we win, but yeah. I don't know how good Aegis of Dawn is, but we might end up with more tank items, but we're full up on tank items over here. There are some really, really good ones, but I think Aegis of Dawn is pretty respectable. The problem is our Cho has no AP resistance, so that'd be a big downside. I think we could level here, and it wouldn't be too crazy. Let me scout around. I feel like the level is pretty big, but at the same time, I do want my Forged in Strength, but maybe it'll come when it comes at this point. I don't have that many lives, so I can't be too picky about it. Especially in my spots where you just want a deferred power, right? When we had a weak board on 2-1, we really want deferred power. I think our Lissandra build is really good. She doesn't need crazy amounts of mana regen because she already has 1 Nashor's Tooth, and then she has the Starlight Hex, which helps her with mana regen. So I feel like my Lissandra build is really good. If possible, you always want more damage. Right now we have some combination of damage, amp, crit, and mana regen. So we got a bit of everything, right? And attack speed. So we got a bit of everything. I really like my Lissandra build here. I think we just need to be thinking about our backline and frontline items. Like, what do we want? I think given that we're 6 Dark Star, frontline is always good to have for sure. But I do want to get my Kaisa and my Jin some items. I need to save this for Forger. Otherwise, I would have been really aggressively reforging this chain into something else. But here, maybe that's kind of not the big plan. I think this one's good enough. It's going to be 2 completed items here, Vow and then GS. I think Vow and GS is pretty good, and it's an even number of components, so we get an extra 10 gold here. We could also go Shojin other thing if we're not that keen. I think, you know, on average, I think the Vow and GS are pretty good. On average, I think they're pretty good here. It's a bit weird because eventually we do want to remove, but we have a lot of removers. It should be fine to use these removers. This is strongest board, so let's just make strongest board. I'm thinking about playing 4 Brawler here instead. Oops, we definitely don't want that. Let's make you our big girl. Yeah, let's hopefully make you our big girl. Some weird things are happening. I'm not sure if there's 3-star forecast going on or whatever. I'm sure we'll figure it out later, and it's not really the point of the video. We really want to just be more talking about our board and our situation. I think for me, the one dead spot on our board is Ross. We still haven't got our Forged in Strength yet, so we're down 3 artifacts. So if we are losing these rounds, that's totally fine. If we're winning the rounds, that's totally fine. But we know we have a lot more power still to come, and we still need to play for the next possible in here. I think Rost is not that good, but I don't know if adding Sniper to my board is that good. Right now, my main carries are Lissandra and Cho. Jin is a carry in some way. He's going to be my secondary, but right now he only has 1, and let's call this, just for simplicity, half an item, which I don't think is that good. So Rost helps out my main units a lot more, having you attack faster, having my team. It's not that many traits, right? It's only 6 and 6, but it's still better than the Sniper trait, which is selfish. Sniper is selfish, only helps out my Jin. At least Rost is helping my, in my mind, my key units a bit more, that being Lissandra, and it also helps Jin and my front line itself, which therefore helps Lissandra and Jin even more, right? So they're one off from printing. Unfortunately, they never got to their cap. I still want to see what my Forged in Strength is. But yeah, thinking about my next ins, I think 4 Brawler is pretty reasonable. I think Conduit might be okay, and I think adding Vanguard might be okay. But I think the least popular, for me, Rogue doesn't make much sense. Again, selfishly only helps my Kaisa. I don't really care about that. Timebreaker might even be a bit better. You know, I could totally see this being better, but I think the armor and magic resist when I have no natural armor and magic resist is pretty good as well. So I think Timebreaker makes a lot of sense. I think Conduit makes a lot of sense just to give myself more mana regen across my whole team. That could be good, but Conduit really is a bit more selfish than that, and it mostly helps out the conduits themselves. So I think Timebreaker might be the best in that I have, and I think long term I have 2 slots, so I could play 4 Brawler, and that will help my Cho out. We're already running Replicator on Liss, so that's really good for us. I think ideally, if you don't have a slot, like Morgana is really, really good at doing that, right? Morgana is kind of a really nice tank slot. Ross is trying to fill that tank slot, but yeah. We also should think about a Dark Star user. I think, you know, Dark Star at the end of the day is a, what is it? 45 AD plus 18. It's like 63 80 in AP on your unit. So ideally you do play that on a frontline unit. I think for us here, we're looking for a Jhin item, backline item, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and try to find here. Guard makes a lot of sense. I think guard should go, or sorry, striker's flail rather, should go with all the other crit items. I know double GS is not that appealing, but yeah, we could level now and be stronger. We could also think about Riven as a time breaker as well, and then putting Dark Stars on her. I'm just going to wait until my Fortune Strength pops here, because I think our game likely is going to end on level 8 here. I think that's a really, really likely situation. I don't think we have the time to go to... we don't have the time to go to level 9. It's just a bit too far here. So I think we're probably going to end on 8. So I'm going to save up all my gold for level 8 as much as possible, because we get it 2-star Riven, 2-star Karma, etc., etc. And all those would be really, really good for us. See what we forged. We've been patiently waiting here. I think this is really good. This is really good. And this is really good. 1 second. I'm going to... Ross 2 is Ross 2, though. There's just some things I know a bit more about, so we're going to be really careful about that. I think I'm okay with all of these. Maybe Hull Crusher remove. With Seekers, I feel a bit differently. Fish Bones, this. Oh! So we're a bit slow on this turn. Apologies for that. We are a bit slow here. We really want to turn this into Karma now. I'm not sure where the extra vow came from. I guess I reforged something. Sorry, I forgot what I reforged here. I reforged a GS? No. So I just want Indomitable on my Cho'Gath. He doesn't want to get CC'd. And now we have Riven items. I think these are pretty good Riven items as well. So maybe the Voyager spot wants to be moved over here, and then we can put our Riven like over here. It's a bit awkward. Yeah, now we have pretty good Riven items. I think it's worth investing into this unit. Seeker's Arm Guard is everything you want and more when it comes to takedowns and stuff like that. Once you get more and more takedowns, you just do more and more amounts of damage. So we're definitely going to go for that. Try to upgrade my Ross to a better unit here. That's pretty good. And we're still looking for a Voyager to play, specifically Karma. Sorry, we're looking for exactly Karma here. To play over Kaisa. Looks like that's not happening. I don't know if Riven or Lissandra is better. I'm going to go ahead and say it's Lissandra just for safety. My Riven has some... You know, I have no idea what this should be. Gun to my head, I have no idea. We probably want to remove her that. Yeah. We probably want to remove her that in the long term. This Gnar is going to be really, really nasty against our Riven. Our Lissandra is actually dead faster than our Cho'Gath, or faster than our other person. So that's pretty interesting. We definitely just want to keep digging as much as possible for this Karma. Maybe Karma is really hard to find, though. Nice. You have to go here, you have to go here, you have to do that, and you do that. Oh, shoot. I see the problem with the solar hex, huh? I'm not sure which one's better. Maybe this is fine. I see a problem here for sure. Ross should be a lot better now that we have some traits here. I think this is okay, but this is really awkward with the solar hex and then this not being a Voyager. We want 3 real items on my Riven, so oof, my Riven died instantly. Oh, we don't have Rogan for her anymore, I just realized, so that's not good. Voyager helps my whole board. Riven helps my whole thing. I guess Mordekaiser was the thing I needed to drop, right? Yeah, but then my front line looks really, really bad. Yeah, I think Mordekaiser was supposed to be dropped here. We have too much backline, but I'm pretty sure that would have been fine. I guess we were like, I guess Blitzcrank is more ideal at this point. But yeah, this isn't doing much. That's completely my fault. Let's take a look at what we can do a bit better here. I think this is really awkward. For sure, this is very awkward. Oh, I didn't even see this as a 3-star Rammus. So we're definitely not gonna be, we're definitely gonna be third in this lobby, but hopefully you see how we played the game and how it's reasonable. I think we would probably be winning the lobby if we had 3-star, or sorry, if that person didn't have 3-star Rammus, we'd probably be winning the lobby, but it's probably good to play defense every now and then. Yeah, I don't have any illusions of beating 3-star Rammus, but I do think we could have done really, really well in this lobby if things were a bit different. I could see this being better because the Riven is so unreliable, but 2-star Riven is kind of hard to pass up, I would say. 2-star Riven is definitely hard to pass up. I think I need my Riven like over here and like wrapping the backline, but I kind of doubt that we have any way of winning this fight versus a 3-star Rammus. We should have definitely been watching out. Maybe that's why I shouldn't deafen. We could be getting nice little pings there, right? But hopefully my Riven can wrap and she's getting nice, easy Seekers. Arm guard stacks. I think the Rammus killed it from very, very far away. So that's a bit unfortunate, but it's going to be a solid third here. I think we had a pretty high chance of firsting. We might have just needed to watch out a little bit more. I thought there were so many Meeple players that I thought would be fine, but I think in this game, all we needed to do was kind of just, even though we were contested, we just needed to play our game accurately. It doesn't really matter. Yes, it might have taken me more gold to find that Cho otherwise, right? It is a big deal, but at the same time, you can still get a good placement playing contested as long as you kind of play your game reasonably throughout, right? I think I made pretty good augment choices throughout, and we could have capped out with Lulu and we could have blocked the Rammus and won the game, but I think just focusing on this one topic of how to play contested, how to play choose your 2-1 augment, and how to make your game easy and just flow through the game. It should be really simple to kind of see what the next easiest upgrade to your board is. And I know Cho took like 30 golds for me to find, but that was my next big upgrade, and that's what we needed to do. Even if it takes 30 gold, I'm still going to do it because that Cho is going to carry me for a very, very long time. Thank you guys always for watching and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below if you want me to do any other type of videos. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.